Hey there, everybody. This is Magnum Pi. I'm here with Teku, Golgotha, Vahilo, and Dark Templar, and we are Initiative Zero. This is Rifts, the Face of Evil, the last episode of our Rifts adventure, first adventure in this campaign, I guess, now that we're going to continue on to the next one. If you're a long-time viewer, and you've been with us from the beginning, we're so thankful for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps us out so much. Let us know down below your comments, and yeah, hit the like button. If you're brand new and just joining us now, you got like 31 episodes to catch up on. You may want to go back and watch those ones, but we're still happy to have you here. If you want to know, any of you, when the next, I guess the first episode of our next adventure, Rifts, the Devouring Swarm, is going to be out, hitting those subscribe buttons and bells are going to let you know. But if you want to have any additional conversation with any of us or our growing community, you can join us on our Discord. All the info is down below. And if you want to run your own Rifts game, we've got links in the info down below, as well as a Google Drive folder that's got all sorts of stuff in it to help you run your own Rifts game as well, including the code for this Roll20 character sheet and CSS code to make it all run the way it ought to. And hope you're all doing well, guys. Teku, Golgi, Vahilo, DT. It's been a while since we've played, but how we doing?
Doing fantastic. Excited to be back.
I'm really excited for this episode. I really appreciate the love that Lex got. R.I.P. Lex. But I'm really excited for this one.
Spoiler! Jeez, I haven't watched the episode yet.
I'd assume that they're watching them in order or listening to them in order.
Well, they do make more sense that way.
Man, I'm talking about me.
No, just throw it on shuffle and figure it out.
Or you could listen to it backwards, and then you're going to find out that, this dog boy is going to get resurrected in front of a large brain.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sounds like a whole new plot. All right. Cool. Well, when we last left, you guys were just coming out of the cave or underground bunker, whatever it happened to be, where James T. led you and Old Jack, Rasputin, and Sly to confront him or he. And that you did. And unfortunately, two of you didn't make it out, and it was rather sad. You got into the truck and were just taking off. Again, the truck only levitates about 10 feet off the ground. Goes about 60 miles an hour at max speed. But as you were driving off, you spotted this figure on a nearby ridge who fired at your vehicle, knocked out one of the hover pods, and the vehicle went down. And so we begin this episode with the party kind of getting its bearings inside the vehicle. Looking through the front windshield, you just see dirt and snow. Looking out the side windows, the truck is pretty much half buried in snow. And you guys do a quick check around. Not a lot of damage to anybody in the vehicle, maybe a cut, brow or something like that. But nothing, just superficial stuff. And there you are.
All right, let's get out of here, out of the car, the vehicle, because whatever shot us out is probably going to come this way.
Yeah, we probably should engage it with full force.
Finish paying the fucker off.
I'm curious to know what this thing is.
An insurance claim, at least.
Well, that's a given. Okay, opening up.
All right, it's hard to get the doors open. You may have to climb out the windows. Here, luckily there's still some power to the vehicle. You can get the windows down and kind of climb out after you dig some of the snow out. And you all do eventually make your way out of the vehicle. Don't forget, it's late December, so we've got snow around. It's the east coast of the U.S., so tends to get a lot of snow. And You guys are crawling out of the vehicle onto a pile of, there's a bank of snow. You were following the frozen rivers because they tend to be smooth and easier to hover across. And so, yeah, you're there on the embankment of a frozen river. Truck kind of half buried in the snow pile and embankment.
So do we know the rough direction the shot came from?
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, you actually could see the rider on the ridge as you drove past, and the shot came just as you were driving past. You could see her leveling her rifle.
So it's probably worth using the truck for cover, and then kind of stacking up from there.
As I get out, I'm going to yell out, "That's going to be really hard to buff out." It was 3 days away from retirement. Fuck's sakes.
Do you know how hard it is to find original parts for this bad boy?
Not hard at all.
Well, does she know that, though?
She probably doesn't know that. But...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there we go.
Just as long as we're all on the same page.
I'm going to assume that she is going to come to us.
Okay. Any preparation you guys want to do?
Maybe we can throw James T at her.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, he's already kind of scrambled behind the rear end of the truck that's kind of pointed up and out of the snow.
I'm going to look at James T and be like, hey, why don't you go to talk to her over there? And give him like a side eye at the same time.
And he just kind of gives you this glare like you're an asshole.
Yes.
He's like, why don't you go talk to her?
Doesn't it?
And I'll kind of look around. Anybody pissed off a thing with a staff riding what looks like a giant mechanized, almost bumblebee? Does that meet the description of?
I'm gonna look over at James T.
James T and be like, "Would you piss off this time?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was with
skeletons you got in the closet.
I was with you, he says. And,
do you know who this person is?
Is that Mez's wife?
No. And Rasputin and Sly are busy getting further up the bank, looking for some trees to have more cover, readying their weapons.
Cool. I'm going to put my armor of Ithan on.
All right. That's worth 40, I believe.
I've got my armor. I haven't taken my armor off, so.
Taking your armor off?
Well, I mean, I haven't turned like I think it hasn't been more than half an hour, right? It's been, how long has it been since we went in and
came out? You probably still have, what's your rating on your armor again?
It's
like 140?
35. Yeah, 140, and it's for 35 minutes per level. So.
Oh, per level, 35 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So yeah, it's still on for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So there you are, and yeah, Senate. Anything on your part?
No, I still have armor on. It's still mostly blown out, possibly covered in bits of splattered dog boy. I'm not sure.
Oh, dude.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon.
No.
All right. Besides, you were on the other side of a force field. Anyway.
That's true. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys ready yourselves? You want to position yourself behind the truck? Is that what? Or do you want to go
stand
further
in front of,
up?
I'm gonna stand in front of the truck.
Okay. You stand out in front of the truck. Anybody else?
I will stand beside him in front of the truck.
Okay.
I will not do either of those things. And I'm going to stand there and reflect on the fact that in a single shot, she blew off an entire, thruster thing from range.
Man,
seemingly without aiming.
The shots really affected your ability to speak.
No, it's more my ability to think. It's added an element of clarity, and that I don't want to get in the way of that. And you kids have fun.
And the shot made a good sound. Anybody familiar with? I don't think anybody has recognized weapon or anything like that, but yeah, it was probably some form of railgun. So Yeah, what you do see is on the opposite bank coming down from the ridge now is this creature. It's moving at quite a clip with the rider on the back as she approaches you and crosses the frozen river and comes nearer. She's as she comes near, you can get a better depiction of her full size. She is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. She's cybernetic. You can tell that she has cybernetic limbs. There you go. So, she's armored. She's cybernetically enhanced. She has antenna, and riding on the back of this beast, she's carrying a rather large long-arm railgun. And the beast itself seems to be mechanical of some sort, but as it draws closer, you notice that it has natural teeth, and it seems to be breathing as well. There's frost coming out of its mouth, which would lead you to conclude that this is a cybernetically enhanced animal.
I'm going to walk up to her.
Okay, you approach and give me a perception check.
All right. Oh, I don't perceive anything.
Senate, you think you see her smile as Sir Luke approaches.
I'm annoyed.
I'm going to walk with Sir Luke.
All right, you approach there. As you approach, she dismounts from the creature, and the creature kind of takes a couple of side steps away from her. She is taller than Sir Luke.
Uh-oh.
She is, you would say, probably 8 feet tall.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a rather large. She's proportionate, right? So she's proportionate, but she's giant-sized, right? In that regard. And as you draw closer, she steps closer toward you as well.
I want to get close enough so I have to look up at her.
Hey, Sir Luke. Wait, before you go, I'm going to, hey, Sir Luke. You ever died by snoo-snoo? Just curious.
Yeah, that's. To be honest,
I understand that reference. Actually,
that's a fair question.
Yeah. So I'm just walking up to her. Like I look angry. I look annoyed.
Yeah. And as you walk closer, she kind of leans down a little bit and says, "Where you come from?"
We came from up north. Is there any reason why you blasted our vehicle?
Our vehicle.
As you, Portland calling from behind. Yeah, our vehicle.
Like what? Oh, yeah.
No.
I'll step out from behind the truck and... You shot us. Where you come from?
Yeah. What was that about?
This, our land. You don't belong here. And you can tell that she has a heavily accented American.
Oh, hang on. I have American. Well, everyone has American.
Yes, we all have American. We were leaving when you blasted us. We had no interest in staying
the other way. Yeah.
Until you shot the truck. Until you shot the truck.
On our way.
Oh, Sir Luke.
We weren't even on your land. We
Sir
were
Luke.
over it.
Sir Luke, you speak fluent Dragonese. You recognize that she's speaking with a thick Dragonese accent.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I also speak
Dragonese.
Dragonese. All of us speak Dragonese.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Then you all recognize, yeah.
Yes.
Fuck.
So I'm 98% Dragonese, so I'm going to start speaking to her in Dragonese.
Okay.
Did you say you're 98% Dragonese?
Yeah. Well,
his language, yeah.
My rating is, yeah.
Oh, so's mine. Yeah.
Yeah, all three of you, I think. Portland, you're...
We're very fluent.
Yeah.
I'm 79. I'm not as fluent. I might forget how to order on the menu times, but other than that.
Yeah. So I'll speak to her in Dragonese.
Okay, you speak to her Dragonese, and she says, "Oh, you understand the language. Good. Where did you come from on this land.
On this land?
Yes.
Well, we had come from, and I'll explain that we came from up north and the rationale why we came here to defeat the people in the...
She stops you. She stops you. She says, no, before you got into your vehicle, where did you come from?
From a cave.
We saw the vehicle. We saw the vehicle there for quite some time, and then we saw you could get into the vehicle. Where did you come out of?
We came out of that cave because there were bad things in there they were fighting.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I know you said that.
Why are you repeating what I just said? I just said that.
Because I'm repeating it, because she didn't hear it the first time.
Listen, I can speak the language.
That's fine.
As you bicker, the mount begins to circle around behind the two of you. I know, Senate, you're still back by the truck. James T. kind of peering over the back side of the truck.
It was, why did you shoot at us? Again, we are supposed to be here. That's fine. We are leaving.
This is our territory.
So help us get out of your territory.
And we needed to know...
We want to leave.
And we needed to know what you were doing in our territory.
There were robots.
And no. I'm not even gonna go that far. I'm just going to approach and say, well, that's a really curious way of asking.
How do you not know what's going on? How do you not know what's going on in your own territory?
Do you know about the brain?
Robots down there.
She just ignores the two of you and looks to Senate. And says, I couldn't ask you any questions if I let you get away.
Certainly one way of stopping us.
Yes.
Did you have another suggestion?
Yes.
Waving.
Just wave us down.
Smiling. That seems to have gotten at least someone's attention.
You had words.
She stops and looks at Sir Luke. You'd infiltrated our territory, heavily armed, and you expect me to just let you leave? And wave you down? No, but I'll tell you what. Thank you for the information about the cave. We'll be sure to investigate and see what you've left there.
Just be really careful.
Yeah, there's still dangerous things.
Mm-hmm.
Still dangerous things.
Yeah, like death robots, as we were talking earlier.
Killed our friend. Well, our friends.
Is that so?
Actually, if you intend or are intent on going back there, I wouldn't mind collecting the remains of our friend so we can properly put them to rest.
That'd be nice.
Now that you've just come to understand that we're not raiders with ill intent toward you or your people.
I haven't come to
your
understand
apparent intentions
that.
with us.
I haven't come to understand that. All I've come to understand is that you came out of a cave, armed, got into this vehicle, and the entire time you were in our territory.
Now, you used a word earlier, infiltrate. We infiltrated your land. We sort of just drove in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not to, I suppose, comment on the security of your land, but the fact that we were able to do so without coming across any warnings, be it people or, I don't know.
And we have no hostile intent towards you or your people. So
we don't even know who you are. Who are you?
Yeah.
We are Shimarians.
What?
Shimarians. And this is our land. And if you drove in, you can now walk out.
Well, I am Senate, and this was our truck.
And now it is our truck.
Really?
Really?
So you're thieves, is what you're saying?
No.
Raiders,
but perhaps your challenge to our honor is something that you would like to settle.
Really? This is what we're going with? Just give me the name of your insurance company, and we can just get this fixed.
Don't forwall it. You're just going to get us in some weird court situation, and I don't have skills in that. Oh, wait, I have hearsay at 97%. Hold on.
How long will it take
roll
for us
for arbitration? Roll for
How
arbitration.
I'll barter with her. How long
I
will
was
it
wondering
take
if
for
you
us
guys
to
had
get out of
Sumerian
here?
law.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this to be the reincarnation of Lex.
How long will it take us to get out of here? And now that we have to walk, just curious.
So, by your estimation, Portland would estimate based on how long it took you to drive out here, probably take you a few days to get back.
Few days.
So we could have been out of here in a few, less than an hour, and now it's going to take us several days. That's great.
Well, let's not even go that far. You said something about apparently having besmirched your honor, or the honor of the Shimerians.
You can leave. If you stay, then you will die. And you can hear her beast still kind of stalking around. You look over your shoulder, and it's kind of in that pose that it's in the picture, but it's stalking around behind you.
At this point, it's all well and fine to say that we're trespassers to your eyes, but you very much are a bandit to our eyes.
And she looks past you and nods to the beast, who kind of gives almost a synthesized, it's almost like so not synthesized, but a real growl, but it's got a harmonic to it, a kind of metallic harmonics to it behind you, a sort of rumbling growl as it takes another couple stomps and starts moving back around the other direction, tail whipping. If I were you, I would go back where you came from. And the beast is now close beside her, and she walks over to it, looking to remount it.
Oh, I want to be so shitty about this.
I want to be so shitty about this, too.
I kind of sort of wanted to be too, but probably for the best not to. We probably don't want to endanger the Shimerian.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
The Shimerians.
Oh,
yes. But that carpet would be so great.
Oh, I'm not even going that way.
I am, because then she wouldn't be able to move.
Until she did. Fine,
So,
whatever.
Okay.
She begins to remount the beast.
Let's go get her stuff from the vehicle.
As she's leaving, I said, well, I suppose it was lovely to meet you.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I am stuck on your notion of honor. Would there be a way to... What's the best way to put this? No, stop. I'm not Tormund, you're not Tormund, nobody's Tormund. Stop that. Would there be a way to settle this? Not so far as to become allies, but to become, let's say, guests. I mean, surely a code of honor has allowances for such things, whether or not we were aware of it at the onset.
She looks down at you from quite high up, because she's on the back of that beast, and she's 8 feet tall.
She's like 37 feet tall now, yeah.
Yeah, and she says, if you wish to challenge, then I look forward to testing your worth, but I would think you would crumble beneath the might of the Shimarians. And
sorry, challenge how? We're not familiar with your ways.
One-on-one combat.
Klingon things.
Is that a thing you want to do there? Not so biggin', but still biggin'? Looking at Sir Luke.
I kind of do, actually. But no, that's probably not what a Cyber Knight would do. They wouldn't do it just for,
building bridges
ego.
Yeah, you
linking
do.
Communities.
You do have your code. Right, don't forget.
Yeah, it's an ego thing, and as much as I'm pissed off about this, I probably wouldn't do it because that becomes ego at that point.
Let me offer a gentle counterpoint.
God.
From a philosopher you may or may not be familiar with. Do it.
So is this like to the death combat?
Kumite?
Oh, don't do it.
Kumite! Do
that. Don't do a Kumite. The references are all over the road. That's great.
I know. If anyone gets that reference, put it in the chat, damn it.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat.
Why would you challenge for anything other than your life?
Figured as much.
Is your honor worth so little?
Frankly, the memory of our friend having his remains for burial, the value of this truck, and I don't know that you have and I'll look up at her high ground to discuss honor, woman who shoots at passersby from hidden positions and then robs them.
Don't try my patience. I have been very generous. You can leave, but if you linger longer, I'll destroy you. And the bristling weapons on the front of her mount kind of position themselves almost automatically there. They adjust and such.
I mean, if you're going to issue a challenge, this is your moment. And this does probably challenge your internal code that I don't need another seminar on. But at the same time, this could be a good way for you to sort of build bridges between communities.
I'm going to start moving towards whatever the hell.
Yeah, I don't know that this builds this. I don't know that this builds relationships. I think this is mostly a fight to the death.
You're bizarrely inflexible.
Funny, I'm Cyber Knight, so that works that way.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna grab whatever backpack I need and start heading that way, I guess.
Fine, I'm gonna go get my stuff. And is there anything from a vehicle that we could take that we could salvage that might be useful?
Well, the contents of the vehicle is just fine.
The whole vehicle, yeah.
The contents are just fine.
Like the power converter or something like that.
You're not really, I don't think you have the tools to be harvesting things out of the vehicle.
I do.
Well, if you want to spend the time doing that.
But my question was, will the vehicle fly on 3 thrusters, even just to limp along?
You might be able to get it to move along. You would be at a very difficult piloting check, but...
Do it.
I might try that first of all.
Give it a whirl.
Try that, and then
all right.
See where we go.
You'll have to get it out from being embedded in the bank there of the river, right? The snow and the dirt. It's crashed into it. So
let's get together and what's everybody's lifting capacity, and I'll gesture to the 2 cue balls.
Mine is awful.
Mine is very good.
That's physical prowess, right? Because I have very, very low physical prowess.
Lift is 720.
Sorry, physical strength is 8.
My lift is 1872.
Mine's 160.
I can also throw an extra 100 pounds worth of telekinesis at it.
Now let's give it a whirl. Hey, Rasputin, Sly, want to get your shoulders in this with us?
Okay, so you whistle them out from the back there. This thing weighs about 2 tons.
Oh,
so
easy.
We got it. Yeah,
we got this. This is easy.
It's about 4,000 pounds, and so now it's also stuck in the ground. But even if you doubled the weight due to that, it's possible for you guys to move it. The Shimarian backs off into the distance, but still stays across the river from you, watching you work. Still easily within range of any of the weapons on her mount and or her railgun. So you do pull the vehicle back out of the embankment there. Who's giving her a go?
Maybe we got any duct tape?
I've got hovercraft ground at 82%. I can push that a little bit, but only for about 10 minutes.
I mean, Sly and Rasputin, they're good drivers, aren't they?
That's a good question.
They don't quite have telemechanics level of hovercraft, no. But they can pilot a hovercraft.
Yeah, it's only 80. So yeah, I'm basically equally scaled with or without telemechanics. So with telemechanics, I'd be, I believe, 82%, and with just straight hovercraft, I'd be at 82%. So, woohoo.
All right. So, you guys pile into the vehicle and try to get it to move.
Yep.
So give me a pilot hovercraft check with a minus 30% penalty.
Ooh.
God.
All right. So you try to get it to go. The back end dragging in the ground basically as you try to get it to move. It seems the rear thruster is also damaged to some degree. So you pilot it along a little bit before it kind of drags out and slams into the bank of the river again there. So basically the difficulty of getting this thing to move and maneuver with the damage it's sustained is beyond your ability there. So.
Well, let's walk.
All
okay.
right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And you look back once you get far enough and you can see that she turns on her mount and heads back toward the cave that you came from.
I certainly hope that she's not harmed severely.
Oh,
Do we have...
not me.
Do you think... Because again, I have this robotic repair kit. Well, for starters, actually, I should lead with asking. If I can use a single shot of telemechanics, that should give me the capacity to do some repairs. Could I work on that back thruster with the parts that come with the kit in the time span that telemechanics offers, which I think is only going to be probably closing on about 10, 12, maybe 16 minutes at most. It'll try flying it again.
It'll probably need more time than 16 minutes of work. Yeah. And much of the parts that come with your kit there, like it's a portable kit. It's not a
it's not a fix all.
Like it doesn't have a thruster in it, right, or a hover pod.
Again, so. But if only to give it another chance to come in at under 52, because that whole third time's charm thing.
I mean, you could spend the time tinkering with it. I would say you're doing a rush job if you're doing that, which would penalize you as well. A rush job, you're kind of in a bit of a pressure situation, right? So, time sensitive must be performed in a few minutes, right? Or by X time, right? So you're trying to do it before your telemechanics runs out. So I'd say, you're probably down by 30% again. On your...
I mean, I could try for it, guys.
Might as well.
10 plus 2 minutes per level. So that's what, 16 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, may as well, because I hate leaving money in the middle of... Yeah. So it leaves me at 1 ISP. And that is a telemechanics non-intelligent.
Sir Luke, do you have environmental armor by any chance?
I do not. I've got the juicer armor, but not otherwise.
Yeah, because you're going to end up getting cold. That's all. Do you have anything that resists cold or anything like that?
What do I have? Do I have a jacket?
And sorry, what were the negatives on this roll?
Minus 30.
Well, we landed that one.
There you go. So you can give it one. You can give it one more attempt to get it moving.
Okay.
Same penalty as before, though.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Ugh, you dig.
Oh, that is just brutal.
Yeah. So you can just hear it clang, punk, and it just slams down into the ground again.
Well, it's closer to the border anyway. Anyway, have fun freezing to death, I guess. Because you wouldn't engage in honorable combat.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So you are making your way along. Anybody have wilderness survival?
I do.
I should.
I believe I do as well, somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep, I do.
Cool.
Inland navigation.
Yeah. So a single successful wilderness survival check will allow for the party to do some hunting, get some skins.
Oh my god, I missed it by 3%.
Yeah, but there's going to be enough of you that are successful.
That's confidence.
Yeah,
I got it.
he got it.
Good. Thank God.
Really annoying that I couldn't have that 12 at any other time, but you know.
Well, the Psy Stalkers are not so great, but you guys have managed to survive. There'll be some hunting. There'll be some super makeshift, super not cured hides for you to keep warm with there, Sir Luke. But yeah,
That's going to be squishy.
you know, really gross and stuff. But you're warm.
How's James T doing?
He's fine. He's got you can see his breath, and he's tinkering around on his hands, but otherwise, he says, "Well, are we going or what?" And he's eager to get moving. You guys follow the path back in the direction you came. It takes a few days. You're cold, you're tired, and you're hungry by the time you spy the mechanic shop that's about 2 miles outside of Finton. There's activity there. You can see smoke coming from a chimney. Right, a furnace is going there, and you can hear the sounds of tinkering and work going on inside.
Well, let's head over there. At least it'll be warm.
Yes, indeed, you do make your way there, and that's when we will introduce well, why don't you describe Gotrich for us there, Vahilo?
Gotrich is a dwarf. He's a psi operator. He was an orphan. He was raised as human, so he sees himself as a human. He's comes in at a staggering 3 feet 11 inches tall, and his weighing in at 175 pounds when he steps on that scale. So quite short, a little bit shorter than Lex, and quite a bit heavier than Lex as well.
All right. And what would he be doing in that mechanic shop there?
He'd be working. He's always tinkering. He's doing jobs for the town, but he has a little side project. He has a little robot vehicle for himself. So whenever he gets some extra kind of scrap parts, extra time, a little bit of extra money, that's the kind of stuff that he's working on.
All right. And he's not alone in this place. There's another operator that works there as well. Not a psi operator, but just a regular old operator. And there's a techno wizard that also works there. All techno wizards are both psionic and magic. And but Gotrich, you are in the main bay there, and you can see a group of 6 approaching. They look cold. They look tired, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep working until I'm not gonna go in and greet them. I'm gonna keep working until they actually show up.
All right.
I don't want to leave the shop for whoever these people are.
Yeah, you wait till they get a bit closer, and you guys are approaching the shop.
Nice shop.
Looks warm.
Yeah, it definitely is warm. It seems to be able to both charge electric engines as well as has gasoline supply.
Do you have any vehicles around?
There are vehicles parked out there. Whether or not they belong to somebody or not is not apparent, but there are vehicles around it. Yeah.
No, we're going to need something.
Even if we end up, I guess, commissioning someone to go give us a tow.
Yeah, that's true. If maybe somebody could go out there and, well,
there is a risk involved.
Yeah, the Shemarians might go after them as well. Maybe
Rasputin speaks up, and perhaps we could get warm first before we worry about the truck.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I assume we weren't even breaking pace. We were just going to continue walking during this conversation.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you are outside of the shop. You hear tinkering from within. It's cold, so the main bay door is down. It's got windows in it and stuff like that. There's certainly activity inside, but it's cold outside.
Is there like a man-sized door?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go knock at that.
Yeah. All right, there you go, Gotrich. They are knocking on your door.
So I'm going to go open up the door.
All right.
Just when I open it, I'm just going to say, what do you guys want?
Oh, share your fireplace would be nice. Maybe a tow to get our vehicle out of the snow it's stuck in. And then, by the looks of this repair shop, maybe commissioning a couple repairs if we could.
Well, something for something. What are you offering right now if you want to come inside?
We got money.
Well, we got a bit of money and tradables. With
Okay,
rest,
well,
we've
what do you
got
got?
some.
And you hear a little tink, 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 tink as James T's cold metal hands clink on the ground as he kind of pushes his way to the front. Now listen here, dwarf.
Holy shit!
We've been walking.
Oh, don't
just stop talking. Stop talking. Stop fucking talking.
Well, I'm gonna squat down and kind of like stare right at him face to face.
Eat him a wrench.
Who the fuck are you calling a dwarf?
And he kind of just
there ain't no fucking dwarfs here.
Looks up and down. Says, and he James T kind of pauses and looks back at you guys. Looks at Gotrich.
I'm going to look down and be like, Mez part 2, you started this. Don't look up here.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you assuming this guy's identity?
Am I the only one that doesn't see this guy? And he points at Gotrich.
Sounds like you're writing checks and there's an issue between your mouth and your ass.
You don't look to be very squishy. You look just like a robot. You don't get cold, do you?
I can feel cold, I suppose. Doesn't bother me anymore, though.
Well, if it doesn't bother you, then you can stay out here in the snow. I want to look at the rest of them. What do you guys got?
Money.
Yeah, we got things to trade.
No, how much you want?
No, that's a bit of an issue.
Why is that an issue?
What do you guys have to trade?
Well, I have this handy hand axe. There. I also have a survival knife, a laser pistol. Any of that tickling your fancy?
Tell me about this axe.
I have this axe. It's for cutting wood, but can be used as a weapon if needed. I got it from the GMG 181 catalog. I also have tinted goggles. It helps protect against glare.
Which you're probably wearing right now because you've been walking around in the snow.
Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah, I got binoculars. I can do magic. And we can do a little performance for you if you really want to. But I got money too, so yeah.
So, Magnum, how does this axe look? Does it look?
It's a little hatchet.
Is it decorative or is it?
No, it's literally like a little hatchet for chopping wood.
Yeah, it will look like a giant axe to you.
No, it looks like a normal sized hatchet that, for even to a 3 foot tall person, it still looks like a normal sized hatchet.
The flexibility of size is going to get real good here, where it's like, oh yeah, you could totally fit in my pocket.
I got need air filters. I got some air filters.
Rasputin and Sly are like, look. Here, right? And they reach in to their pouches and they pull out a few black market tradables. Will this get us inside?
Yeah, that'll work.
Good. Thanks.
That piece of tin down there, he stays outside.
What is this? Why am I staying outside?
This is my shop. I choose who comes in and who doesn't.
Well, look, what did I do to you?
You insulted him, apparently.
You're sitting here calling me a dwarf?
Well, isn't that what
Get the
you
fuck
are?
out of here with that stuff. Can I pick him up?
You could try. How strong are you?
It says that I can lift 880 pounds.
Yeah,
I basically want to pick him up and just throw him into a snowbank.
you could pick him up. You can. He's actually 4 feet tall, standing on his hands, so not a whole lot of crouching.
Oh, so he's taller. He's taller than me.
By an inch. Yeah, but anyway. You can try to pick him up. Yeah. You would have to
Yeah, I want to do
get
that.
him though. So, like, he's not expecting it. So we'll give you initiative. But
Okay. Oh, where's my?
Not even going to ask about danger sense because I don't have the capacity for it anyway.
well, it would go off. It would go off because
I
there's
literally-
trouble right now, right?
Yeah, but it only goes off for people I care about, so I don't know that it would apply.
Yeah, I don't really. I'm not mad about this.
Oh no, the tiny mechanical dickhead is being bullied for his own actions. Anyway,
If you need help, I'm very willing to help you with this. I will happily throw him.
can I trip James T to make this easier?
Oh,
What are your
shit.
legs?
Yeah. You go to
Can
you go to like lay hands on him. He kind of just takes one step back, and you kind of your arms are too short. You can't quite he's just outside of your reach. He's like, what are you trying to do? Look, if you let me in there, I'll show you where there's things that'll blow your mind when it comes to tech. If you think this, and he points to his broken body, is something, you should see what's in the cave.
Yeah, the things that killed our friend.
Hey,
Nah,
He
that
knew the
doesn't sound like
risks.
someplace I want to go.
Did he? Did he really?
These
you
five
all
can
knew the
commit.
risks.
You
James
sit
T
outside.
turns around and looks at you guys. You all knew the risks.
Are you guys coming inside or not?
Yeah, we're coming inside.
Okay, so I'll hold the door open for those 5, and then I'll just close it on James T.
Okay, he puts his hand on the door and holds it firm. He won't. It won't close.
And I'll say, James, clearly you've offended him.
Clearly, he's offended me. He says, "Look, whose side are you on here? This dwarf that you don't even know?"
James,
Well,
T, that we barely
We
know.
don't.
And
We don't know him, but we do
I'm
know you. So
kind of-
obviously,
I'm just putting my hands up. I really am trying.
I close the door.
You can try.
This is how the SDC door gets broken.
It could very well be how the SDC door gets broken. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'll look at Gotrich. Like, sir, would you mind if I give it a try?
Absolutely.
What's your strength? Sir,
My strength is 1,000.
No.
Well, so my strength. Sorry, my strength is 36.
Okay.
I have a PS of 1,000.
And it's exceptional strength.
No.
So yeah, you can you push, and James T kind of digs in there, and he's resisting the door, slowly pushing him back as you push closed. It's like, you're a cybernite. You're gonna close me out in the cold? What's wrong with you? Don't you know what's gonna happen? Mez is gonna come looking. He'll know you're here. Don't you realize what? And it closes.
Yep. Thank you. To the Gotrich.
I'm just going to turn and walk back to the stuff that I was working on.
Do you lock the door?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, Sir Luke locks the door.
Because fuck him. It might not be very Cyber Knight EV, but I don't care at this point because he is
Oh,
horrible.
now we can blur the lines when there isn't a super awesome honor death fight Kumatai on the line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
kind of nonsense, inconsistent.
I hope the community understands this.
Wow.
Do you want to? Okay, if you want to revert it, I'll fight her. I'm fine with fighting her.
No.
I'm not
That was
retconning this now. You fucked
That was
up.
like 45 minutes
No.
ago. You had your chance.
No, fighter. I'm such a badass now. Yeah, okay.
Just wandering
Okay,
around screaming, "Where's
I'm
the-"
gonna
Rasputin and Sly
I'm gonna walk
kind of
back
look
with
at
a
each
few,
other.
Sorry, I'm gonna walk back with like a thing of, I don't know, does coffee exist in this time?
You probably have some sort of, pine tea or
Warm
something like that.
beverage.
There's likely a warm beverage that exists.
Okay, I'm gonna walk back with like a big kind of jug of that, and a few just kind of things that I have for cups, and just kind of put it like on a table by them.
Right.
Yeah, Rasputin and Sly kind of are looking at each other, and they're like, "Luke, you just closed him out?"
Yep.
Kind of Cyber Knight are you?
You have any answer?
Okay,
to me?
so
Roll for
you're a
horror
cyber
factor.
knight.
Sorry.
what
No.
what the hell is everybody else here?
Oh, my name is Portland, and I am a ley line walker. I stick my hand out for a shake.
I'm just gonna ignore it, and I'll turn to
Alright.
Senate. What are you?
And I'll kind of go grab one of the cups and say, "A psychic."
And then you two, and I'll kind of nod to Rasputin and Sly.
And they look at each other and they look at you. You never seen a Psy Stalker before?
Haven't seen much.
All right.
Lived in this town a long time. Nothing much passes through here.
We're Psy Stalkers. Brothers, says Sly. And we're a little bit hungry. And they both look at Sir Luke.
Well, how the hell did you all end up in that cold out there?
Do you know the
You may be all these things that I've never seen before, but you're not very smart.
Shimerians? Apparently live near here.
Give me...
Never gone there. Never had a need to. You want to roll?
I'm just trying to think if Gotrich would know about the Shimarians. Not really. Yeah,
I mean-
no, that's okay. Don't worry. You don't have to know.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just explain. Well, you've got neighbors down the road a ways. None too friendly. Very tall, but none too friendly.
Okay.
We had a truck. I guess we still sort of have a truck. But it's not really running at this point, not in a way that it's drivable.
What type of truck are we talking here?
Cargonaut. With
So a hover truck.
8-seater. Yeah.
Oh, a big one.
Not too big,
Okay.
not too small.
And what's wrong with it?
Well, your Shimerian neighbors, like him or not, quite the shot with a railgun.
Hmm.
So we're down a thruster, and it's stuck on the ice. I mean, we can get it out of the ice thanks to big guy over here, I guess. But getting it moving forward's a bit more of a trick.
So as they're talking, I'm going to go over to Rasputin and Sly. I say, "You guys are hungry?"
Yeah.
I'm going to cut a bit of my arm and say, "Go to town, guys."
Sure. They say.
I'm gonna actually kind of throw up a little bit. Not because of what I'm seeing, but on principle. Because gross.
And, yeah, they drain you down. They drain all of your PPE and half of your ISP. There's Sir Luke.
Oh, half of my ISP. Okay.
That's all they can drain. They drain half of ISP. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a nice snack. Now,
And I'll look over and say, "You good? You need to smoke after all the sucking of pee-pee? E?"
Sly just glares at you. You can be next if you want.
Just so you know, my hand's still out there for this handshake the entire time. Hasn't moved yet.
You know what? For a guy that hangs out invisible in the way you do, that actually fits completely.
Yeah.
You've had,
So I'm gonna
had
talk to
experiences
Gotrich.
where you're invisible the entire time, trying to get a high five, not realizing we can't see you.
Yeah. Sly, before you try to walk away, Rasputin's like, hold on there, Cyber Knight. You're awfully kind to us, giving a little snack here, but you weren't so kind to James T.
You mean the man who helped responsible for the death of of Jack?
I think you got your sense of justice a little awry. What did he do that killed Jack? I'm sad that he's gone, but and we'll presume that you guys buried his body before you walked back for 4
Yes,
days
yes,
instead of
that's what
lugged
I
it along
assumed.
with you. Yeah. We're sad that he's...
I figured Luke was wearing him.
That's how he kept warm. The tauntaun.
Oh Jesus, that'd be horrible. That's so bad.
And the size disparity would be awful. So
Jeez. What a horrible
He's a hat.
image. Oh,
he's a hat and a scarf.
Yeah. So, anyways, my idea had been I was going to talk to Gotrich and try to negotiate with them and say, as
Well-
much as an asshole that James is, but that's kind of past at that point.
yeah,
Oh, no, it
Rasputin is
hasn't.
still... Yeah, Rasputin is still quite ticked about your lack of justice. And
I'll kind of cut in and say, for what it is, I'm none too happy to have James sitting around outside, unsupervised as it were, but I'm not much of a fan of freezing to death either.
No.
And that looked to be the way certain people
Yeah.
were heading here.
well, I'm
so
just
it's
not a
better.
fan of...
So, Gotrich, would it be okay if we let him in? I'll pay for him if that needs to be.
He's got to learn how to talk to people. If he comes in and starts running his mouth at me like that, he's not going to be lasting long around here.
That's fair.
I'm the one that you've seen here in this shop. This is my shop. But there are
Yep.
some others that are working who wouldn't take kindly to those types of comments either.
He'll be
You could
respectful.
You could stop at types who wouldn't take kindly to
Yeah,
those
yeah.
types.
So I'll walk over the door and say, come in.
And you open the door, and the, I guess, half-man, we'll call him, is kind of huddled in a corner there. He glares up at you. Now you're going to let me in?
Behave and don't talk back to him.
Make up your mind. You're letting all the heat out of my shop.
Behave. Behave, he says. He just
And I'll
glares
kinda
at
lean
you
in
as he
front of-
walks in.
I'm going to lean in front of Luke and say, we're guests here.
Mm-hmm.
If our host has a preference, I think it's polite, if nothing else.
Are you responsible for his change of heart? Says James T. as he
No,
looks at
I
Luke.
think this was something that we've been working toward together here. But just like with Mez, and I'm going to close the door kind of around him. Just like with Mez, you've got a propensity for coming in a little strong. Whether or not that was your intention here, that's how this went. So I'd rather not see you outside. Neither would Luke.
No nod.
So let's just try and keep a level head and maintain a civil-like sort of candor here.
And the two Psy Stalkers look at each other, and they just kind of like scoff. Like, we can't believe... Well, Rasputin's like, I can't believe you guys. Luke just had a change of mind? We lost our friend. You lost your friend too. But what did Jimmy do? He brought us to the cave like he said. It might have been more than we could handle. How was he going to know that there was some bot with blades hanging from the ceiling dropping down. As I recall it, you're the one that fixed Lex in that room with your force field. Points at Senate.
Damn.
It's not Jimmy's fault that a robot dog pinned down old Jack. Not Jimmy's fault that you, and he points at Sir Luke, couldn't pull the damn dog off of him. But sure, blame Jimmy. Next you'll blame us because we're not like you. I know how it goes.
So I'm going to
the
take my
opening
helmet
and go
off
back.
and just face Rasputin and Sly head on and say, on paper, I don't think we're supposed to be getting along. Being a psi stalker and a psionic. That said, I think we've come to a decent understanding across our time together. You guys have stayed in your lane, I've stayed in mine. I think we can agree what happened with Lex and Jack, friends of ours, is regrettable. I'm glad that you guys made it through. I think breaking down at this point is probably not advisable. Where we're at, it's not a great spot, but letting our emotions run hot, and I'll kind of look over at Luke, is not going to help anything. Now, like it or not, James offended our host. It's a whole lot easier to resolve that situation from the inside. I think you'll agree, given that we're here now. So, unfortunate sentiment aside, we're in, we're warm, and it's probably worth working together to come up with some sort of a plan going forward. Standing here arguing is going to do nothing but waste the fire. Now, you guys have had a snack. How long can you last on that?
I don't know. It's a bit of a lightweight.
And I'll kind of glance and say, well, ironic. I'm tapped out, so I don't see myself being much help. I won't volunteer Portland because that's, frankly, beyond my interest to do.
Sly kind of sniffs the air. That's all right. This one nods over to Gotrich. Is keeping a mage around here somewhere.
Well, let's not go wearing out our welcome. If we can come to terms, friendly-like, that sounds great.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were all friendly-like till James T. was getting the short end of the stick just because things went awry. Says
James T. was getting the short end of the stick because of an unfortunate misunderstanding, let's call it.
Yeah. Didn't seem to be how you were when we were approaching the cave. When we were leaving the cave.
But it was when we were in the town leaving Mez, wasn't it?
And that, says James T., is why we need to lay low. That town's only 2 miles away. And here we are, in a nice warm spot. And he kind of motions a hand toward Gotrich. What was your name again, sir?
Gotrich.
Gotrich. James T. He balances on one hand and extends his other hand.
I'm just going to look at it and not respond.
All right, you're not one for shaking hands. I understand. My comrades and I are in need of laying low here until we can figure out what we're going to do. Does that sound okay to you?
Well, your comrades said that you guys have a hover truck. You bring that hover truck, and I might be able to find a spot to lay low.
Well, could take some time for us.
I'll offer tonight. I'll offer tonight so that you guys can get warm. Maybe have some of your rations warm. But tomorrow morning, you're going out to get me a hover truck. And then maybe in exchange for that, you guys can stick around here for a little bit.
I don't have a helmet on, so you can already see my eyebrow.
And I'm like, it's a
Kinda
deal.
gluing itself to the back of my own
I
head.
have my hand extended.
I don't have the psionics to turn off your mouth right now. That's annoying.
Fine.
Yeah.
Why is it annoying?
Because you screaming "It's a deal" really doesn't leave much room for bartering and negotiation.
No, I'm gonna say it's a deal and have my hand still extended. It hasn't even moved since the first time I had it out there.
Good. You guys can stay over in that other shop bay. It's the one at the end of the shop. There's no equipment in there right now. And that's where you can put the hover truck when you bring it back.
I'm gonna kind of slant my eyes and look at Portland and say, "So you just traded away our truck for a limited stay in an area we're otherwise unwelcome?"
Yep. I think I've got more progress in my 3 sentences than you guys did in the entire episode.
I put out a fire. I put out a fire. That's what I did. I tried to get snoo. My hips are still intact. Whatever.
Okay.
Well, if you have something else to trade, maybe you can get the hover truck back. Right now, for a warm place to sleep, some warm drink. You can heat up your rations in here. That's enough for now.
Do you have a
And
vehicle that we could use to get the hover truck?
I don't know. Is it going to end up the same way as your own? Because your record's not looking so good right now.
That is actually a decent possibility.
You can always come with and see if you can fix it on there. And maybe be able to hobble it back so you can really do some repairs on it.
I don't need to go and get stuck out in the cold and have somebody shooting at me. I'm quite safe and comfortable in here.
all right.
What kind of vehicles you got on hand?
I think you've
I
got
have
a
my
motorcycle.
stuff for vehicles.
Yeah. This is a repair shop. There's, other people's vehicles that might be repaired, like motorcycles and ATVs and things like that. It's a rural town, and you do have people coming in from the mountains and stuff and the like. So it's they're mostly all-terrain or multi-terrain vehicles. Being winter, there's probably some snowmobiles, things like that, but they don't belong to you.
Okay.
You have your motorcycle and your robot that is in need of repair, I believe.
Yeah. So, but I mean, my robot that's in need of repair still looks like a totally functioning robot, right?
It literally needs a nuclear power supply.
Yeah.
And some missiles,
So,
and it would need ammunition and stuff like that. But
yeah. So I'm just going to say to them, well, I have a motorcycle, kind of a rough terrain vehicle, so it works well around here. If you guys break it, or if you feel like you're going to pull a fast one on me and not come back, see the robot that you passed on your way in? I'll be out looking for you. You got it?
I don't want to assume anything, but why can't we just use the giant robot that could probably pick it up like a skateboard?
Well, I told you. I'm not going, and you're not taking it.
Oh. It's fair enough, I suppose. Let me ask you a question. You asked what we had to trade. I'm a partway decent mechanic on a limited basis. That's something you can make use of. Alternatively, again, you give me a rest. Do a decent job passing people up if that's a thing you guys might be in need of.
Well, let's see how well you can get that truck back here, and then we can chat about everything else.
all right. With that, you will bed down for the night, and Senate, Sir Luke, and Gotrich, you all have disturbing visions. Sir Luke and Gotrich, you have a sensation of dread and a feeling of anxiety and anticipation As you sleep, your dreams are filled with standing in a wasteland of charred and burned ground, destroyed things, buildings, vehicles, things on fire. You wake not feeling rested, and still dripping sweat with the sense of dread hovering on you. Senate, unfortunately for you, your dreams are all the more vivid. You have the same sense of dread and feeling of anticipation and anxiety, but you have a vision of chaos and mass destruction on a level more so than Gotrich and Sir Luke. Your dreams are of waves of danger. You see swarms of something, a cloud of armored demons that sweep over the land like locusts and destroy everything in their path. As you kind of stand on this sort of, it's like you're standing on the plane of the ground that they're flying over, destroying everything around you. The vision shifts to this bluish sphere floating in inky blackness, and another large object coming close and beginning to break it apart, chunks of rock being drawn into its mouth. Then your vision changes. You stand on an open grassy plain with a tree that has broad, wide branches and leaves, strange looking animals with spots and long legs and neck. And then you turn and you see a creature that puts a fear into you. 4 arms and a skull face grinning at you. The image shifts and you see an armored humanoid with a flaming flail standing at the coast of a great ocean. Your image changes again to a humanoid covered with a swarm of insects that fly away and return to him. And then finally your image shifts to an emaciated giant that walks over a parched and dry land. Then your image shifts again to a castle off in the distance. And it's almost like you're drawn into the castle through a room, into a corner, dark and shadowy. And then 2 eyes open and stare at you from the shadow, bloodshot and blue. And finally, the sound of churning and digging as you stand in a river valley, looking out mountains in the distance. The sound of churning and digging, and out of the ground steps out a gigantic winged demon that looks at you and smiles. And then you wake up. You find that in speaking with the others, Rasputin and Sly had the exact same dream as you, Senate. And Gotrich, the techno-wizard that works in your shop, had a similar sense of foreboding.
And over a cup of pine nettle tea
in the morning, yeah.
Kind of pan the room, and anybody make sense of that particular cup of joy?
Yeah, you share, each of you will share your experiences in the night. James T. looks over at you, Portland. What about you? Anything?
Nothing.
Yeah, same here.
I'm not going to share anything of the dream that I had because I don't really know if I should trust these guys yet.
Well, you're,
Shaking your hand would, probably make some of that trust, be be felt here. But just throwing it out there.
whether you whether you verbalize it or not, Gotrich, you are visibly shaken by it, right? Like you have a sense
Right.
of dread and foreboding. The techno wizard is
Just
very
because I hear everybody, having said the same thing.
yeah.
So,
The techno wizard
I
is
get
very
that.
open about saying, yeah, I had the same feeling, right? When Luke shares his.
Yeah, and I'll do it like while just staring out the window, just very vacant almost.
And Rasputin and Sly, they kind of talk with you, Senate. Did you count 7? 7 things in your dream. We compared. We counted.
Did I count 7?
Well, count with us. You had the swarming thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the skull-faced thing with 4 arms. The armored thing with a flaming mace. The thing covered in insects. The emaciated creature. The bloodshot eyes in the shadows. And the large winged demon pulling itself up out of the ground.
Then reflecting on that, yes. Does any of that make any sense to either of you?
Rasputin just kind of shakes his head. It's gotta be a warning.
I don't think so. And I mean, no offense, I understand this clearly. None of these things are coalition issue, but is this anything you might have come across in your past? Is this something you might have sparred with, been briefed on?
And they both just shake their head. No. What about you? Anything they ever talked about in Laszlo?
It's not the kind of thing you would find, scribbled on the side of a bathroom stall downtown Laszlo.
Yeah.
So let's go with no.
This isn't anything we ever experienced before.
And the fact that this hit everybody at once can't just be a coincidence. I think there's a specific timeline this thing seems to be, or these circumstances seem to be working off of.
And the techno wizard says, "Hey, Gotrich, I'm gonna head into town and go talk to the healer. See if he had the same thing."
That's a good idea.
And the techno wizard heads out. With that, we will call an end to this last episode of Riff's the Face of Evil. Thank you for joining us. Once again, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like. Put comments down below. I'm Magnum Pi. I'm here with Teku, Golgotha, Vahilo, and Dark Templar. And we are Initiative Zero.